Imagine you're walking through a forest alone, not a zoo, not a nature documentary, a real forest. Somewhere out there is a tiger. Now, most people would say the tiger is the most dangerous animal in that forest. After all, it has claws, teeth, muscles, and the ability to turn you into a very unfortunate statistic. But here's a strange question. If that tiger could be afraid of one animal, would it be another tiger? Or would it be you? Tonight, when you lock your doors, switch on your lights and scroll through your phone, it's easy to forget something remarkable. You belong to the most feared species that has ever lived. Not the strongest, not the fastest, not the biggest. The most feared. And that raises an uncomfortable question. Why? Why did an ape with weak teeth, fragile skin, terrible night vision, and absolutely no natural weapons become the animal that almost every other large creature on Earth learned to fear? Because the answer isn't what most people think. It isn't strength. It isn't intelligence alone. And it certainly isn't because humans are somehow special. In fact, the real answer begins hundreds of thousands of years ago, when our ancestors were among the most vulnerable creatures on the African savanna. Picture East Africa around 200,000 years ago. No cities, no farms, no metal, no weapons beyond simple wooden spears and stone tools. The landscape belonged to lions, hyenas, leopards, crocodiles, and other predators that could kill a human in seconds. If you had visited that world and looked at early humans, you probably wouldn't have bet on them. Honestly, you'd probably have invested your money in the lions. And yet something strange happened. The lions stayed lions. The humans changed the planet. But here's where it gets interesting. For most animals, survival is an individual problem. A leopard hunts alone. A tiger hunts alone. A bear survives mostly on its own. Humans took a completely different path. We became specialists in cooperation. Anthropologists often describe humans as the most cooperative large mammal on Earth. A single human is not especially impressive. 10 humans working together are a different story. One human throws a spear. 10 humans surround a mammoth. One human sees danger. 10 humans create a plan. And this is where everything changes. At some point, our ancestors developed something incredibly powerful. Not sharper claws, not bigger muscles, shared imagination. Humans became capable of believing in things that didn't physically exist. Plans, strategies, stories, future goals. A hunting party could coordinate an attack hours before it happened. A group could pass knowledge from one generation to the next. Information began accumulating. And unlike muscle, information doesn't disappear when someone dies. It gets inherited. Now here's the surprising part. Some scientists believe one of humanity's greatest hunting advantages wasn't speed. It was boredom. Seriously. Many large predators rely on explosive bursts of energy. A cheetah can outrun you for about 30 seconds. Humans developed something called persistence hunting. Instead of sprinting after prey, ancient hunters simply kept following it. Hour after hour, mile after mile, the animal would run, rest, run again, rest again. Meanwhile, the humans kept walking, sweating, tracking, following. Eventually, the prey overheated and collapsed from exhaustion. Imagine being hunted by something that never stops. No matter how far you run, it keeps coming. That is the kind of predator nightmares are made of. And the archaeological evidence suggests our ancestors were doing exactly this tens of thousands of years ago. But the story gets stranger. Humans didn't just learn to hunt. They learned to transform their environment. Around 1 million years ago, evidence from sites like Wonderwork Cave in South Africa suggests early humans were controlling fire. Fire changed everything. Predators feared it. Darkness feared it. Cold feared it. Fire allowed humans to extend their day, cook food, protect camps, and eventually expand into environments that would have killed most other animals. A lion might dominate a patch of grassland. Humans could reshape entire ecosystems. And that's exactly what happened. Wherever humans arrived, large animals often disappeared shortly afterward. Scientists still debate the details, but the pattern appears again and again. Australia, the Americas, remote islands. Humans arrive. Megafauna decline. It wasn't because humans were stronger. It was because humans were organized. Hold that thought. Because organization may be the most terrifying weapon evolution ever produced. A wolf pack works together. A troop of chimpanzees works together. But humans cooperate with complete strangers. Millions of them. We build armies, cities, nations, and global networks. You can eat food grown by people you've never met, transported by people you've never seen, using technology invented by people who died centuries ago. No other species comes close to that level of cooperation. And that's the secret. The most feared animal on Earth isn't dangerous because of its claws. It doesn't have any. It isn't feared because of its teeth. They're mediocre. It's feared because of what happens when millions of human minds connect together. The same ability that built civilizations also built weapons. Empires and technologies capable of changing the entire planet. And that brings us back to the forest. Back to the tiger. Back to the question we started with. Why are humans the most feared animal on Earth? Because evolution didn't turn us into the strongest predator. It turned us into the most adaptable one. The most cooperative one. The one capable of imagining a future that doesn't exist yet and then working together to make it real. And perhaps that's the strangest part of all. The instincts that helped ancient hunters track prey across the African savanna still live inside you today. Every goal you pursue, every plan you make, every story you tell, every group you belong to. They're echoes of the same ancient abilities that once helped our ancestors survive. The world has changed. The tools have changed. But the mind behind them hasn't changed nearly as much as we like to think. And maybe that's why humans became the most feared animal on Earth. Because long before we changed the planet, we learned how to change ourselves.